A robbery suspect is dead after a late-night robbery.
Back and shot an intruder breaking into her home.
911, what is your emergency?
A citizen, just like a police officer, have the right to defend themselves or defend others if they're in fear of death or serious bodily injury, and that right extends to using deadly force.
You think about it, but it's one of those things until it happens to you. It's always somebody else that you read about in the paper. I know something's not right. I'm just kind of acting on impulse. It makes you feel pretty helpless when you know something is going to happen and you're not sure quite how you are going to handle it. But it's just one of those things. I just felt like I got to do what I got to do. And I'm standing there with a gun in my hand, ready to shoot somebody if I have to. I was born and raised in Arkansas. When I got out of high school, I ended up joining the Navy. The squadron I was in, its main duty was to haul the atomic bomb around, because Korea was breaking out at that time. And I was in the service. I was driving through this little town near where I lived with a friend of mine, and we saw his girlfriend walking down the road with this other girl, and we stopped and picked him up, and the other girl was my wife, eventually. So we got married about a year later, 55 years. We used to come to Las Vegas on little weekend trips and decided we liked it and thought, well, that'd be a good place to retire to. We bought this house in 1990 and we were out in the country. Since then, the town has just grown out around us. Some way it's good, some ways it's bad. I lost my wife 3 years ago. Children still live in California, except for the youngest son. He's serving time in Iraq right now, but we hope he's home before long. I got 5 grandkids and 2 great-grandkids. I wouldn't trade them for anybody. They're just great. Typical routine is doing a lot of bowling, and I'll go up to the casino, sports book, and play the horses for an hour or two, a couple of days a week, and try to stay busy. Well, a few weeks after the incident, I got to thinking about it, and I wondered if the girl that had come around several months ago could have been related to the incident. It was late in the afternoon. It was cold. It was about dark. And she rang the doorbell. I looked out, saw a girl standing there, and opened the door.
I was in your neighborhood selling magazines, and my ride left me, so I was wondering if I can come in and use your telephone.
You need to get in touch with your ride?
Yeah, can I come in and use your phone?
Let me get it and bring it to the door.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Here you go.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello? Yeah, where are you guys? I'm on the same street you dropped me off on.
Yeah, she's still standing around out there shivering and looked cold. And I had a couple of old coats in the little closet here, so I went over and got one.
Thank you. They should be here shortly, and I hope they come soon because it is cold.
Here, why don't you slip this on while you're waiting for your ride?
Thanks. I feel better already.
Oh, good. Hope they get here soon.
Yeah, I hope so too.
A few minutes later, somebody drove by and said, hey, that's them.
I really appreciate you letting me use your jacket.
Oh, that's all right. You just keep it. It is cold out here and you need it, so.
Really?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Goodbye. Now, whether or not she was kind of sizing up the house, I have no idea, but no one had come to the door trying to sell magazines to me, and you don't see many door-to-door magazine salesmen anymore, so I was skeptical. A few months later in the summer, doorbell rang. I looked out, and there was 2 young guys out there that were, I would guess, 18, 19 years old. They were neatly dressed. I opened the door, and one of them asked me if Latasha
Is Latasha here?
was here. No, I don't know any Latasha.
Are you sure? She's about 5'5", 5'6".
I got the impression they were just looking for words to explain why they were there.
Well,
They
you have a
just
good day.
kind of shrugged and went ahead and left. I think there's a good chance they could have been related. It's just those 2 things happen that don't happen every day, and they happen to me, and they didn't happen to my neighbor. So I feel like there's a good possibility I could have been being cased. It was the 11th of August, I believe it was a Monday. I was a little tired, so I went to bed a little early, probably 9:45. And I hear a pounding on the front door. It's not like a knock, like somebody wants to come visit. It was a pretty good pounding. I didn't know what was going on, so I got out of bed and tried to figure out what to do next. I went to my closet in the bedroom and got my gun and brought it back, sat down on the edge of the bed. The pounding was getting louder. So I tried to call 911 with my cell phone, but it was dark in there and I must have hit the wrong button or something. I couldn't get it to work. Well, by this time, they were hitting the front door with something other than their fists. So, okay, I've not got time to fool with 911, so I just thought, if I don't turn any lights on and they come crashing through the door, I'll have a small advantage. So I brought the gun down the stairs to the little landing about halfway down, had it cocked and pointed at the door. And by this time, I know the door's coming in at any moment. You know whatever's going to happen is going to happen right now. I went to bed probably 9:45, but I hadn't gone to sleep yet. And I hear a pounding on the front door. Pounding is getting louder. So, okay, I've not got time to fool with 911. By this time, I know the door's coming in at any moment. You know whatever's going to happen is going to happen right now. A little light fell out of their hand and was kind of spinning around. They must have seen me on the stairs with the gun pointed at them. By the time I got to the bottom of the stairs, they were gone. I never got to see anybody. And then I went in, got my phone, and called 911.
My home, 7105.
It was about 5 minutes. A police officer was here. He sized the situation up, made out the report. He said it might be a good idea just leave it on the nightstand for the rest of the night, which I did. Drug a bunch of chairs up and propped them under the doorknob. They wouldn't have held if anyone had pushed on them, but I would have hoped it would have made enough noise I'd have woke up if I'd been asleep. But fortunately, they didn't come back, and they disappeared, and I've not seen or heard any sign of them since. It didn't really scare me until it was all over. When you get a few seconds to think about it, a lot of things could have happened that were a lot worse than what did. Yeah, it was scary. It was scary. And I'm just glad it ended up the way it did. I've tried to figure out what might go through the mind of somebody that would even do something like this, and why wouldn't they quietly go to a back window and come in, not make any noise? But they didn't seem to care. I have thought about that for hours. I have no idea, because it doesn't make any sense to me, the whole incident. I can't understand people that are so dead against gun ownership. I believe in it. I don't know what would have happened if I hadn't had one. In my case, and I'm sure there's thousands of others just like it, they probably saved their lives on various occasions. But I think everybody that has one ought to take a course in gun safety and how to handle them and the legalities of having them. I had a professional security company come out and install a device. Other than being more aware of the safety of my home, it doesn't change much. I do the same things I always did. Our children, they're all set for me to move back to California where it's safer. Well, it's not my nature to be chased off by some punks like this, so no, it's not going to happen.